Hi, everybody. Nice to be back with you again. We've got some intense energies going on right now all over the planet. It's August 26th. It's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon here on the East Coast of the United States. And, I've noticed myself these energies coming in. And I know we've got the new moon in Virgo right now and other aspects that are playing with it. I don't know enough about astrology. I'm completely intrigued with it. And but I can listen to it and I can feel it for myself, but can I sit here and tell you guys about it intelligently? No. But what I can tell you about, at least from my perspective, is um, what I'm feeling myself with these energies coming in, and what I'm noticing outside myself with seemingly outside myself with other people. Um, and it's not just one but many right now, because this is an energy that is really kind of, it's sweeping over the whole earth. It's there for a reason. We created this matrix with all of these cool little codes and keys to help us, not to hurt us. So like everything, there is an opportunity within this, um, to really clarify for ourselves some things that have been hidden. And that's kind of really what it's all about right now. It's about these energies that are uncovering. They're shaking things up so much right now that everything that was hidden in the bottom, the deep, dark stuff hidden in the bottom, the muck, everywhere. And I'm not talking about in just you or me or in our neighbors or whatever, but it's also happening on a local level, in your cities, your towns. It's happening statewide, it's happening nationwide, and it's happening worldwide. And you're going to notice this. Lots of things you thought were true, or you may have thought were true, you're going to find have not been. They haven't been true. They have never been true. That all of this fear that is being pushed upon us. Now, there are some things that are real, seemingly, and even those things are agreements that each being in that play made to play out as being a part of that, so that they could cleanse their own DNA, their own quote unquote past life experiences, and create something that brings resolution. These really negative wars and happenings that are going on everywhere right now, from what I'm understanding anyway, is that it's all coming up to be released. So while we look at it like, oh my God, the world's falling apart, well, it is. But it's doing it like kind of for the last time it has to. It doesn't have to keep doing that. But, it's like, sorry, but it's like a boil, what's inside that has been festering has to come out. And once it does, it gets healed. But, the action of having it be done, you can go there in your own mind. I'm going to stay away from that one. But, you get what I'm saying here. This is a time that all of the negativity, the deep negativity, the doubts that we've had for a long time, the old spiral of story that, hangs around in our energy field that we paid attention to and thought was true and believed was true because, God, everybody else bought in as well. It really isn't true. Listen, if it's not love and it makes you feel fearful, it's not true. It never has been, except that we created a situation in our reality, a reality that we created. We made that whole thing so that it would become so incredibly ludicrous that we wouldn't be able to look at it anymore and say, you're real, right? No. It's gotten to the place now where we're looking at it and we're going, oh, there is no way. No way that can be true anymore. And that's what we're getting at. And now the energies are supporting supporting um, the getting down to brass tacks with all of this. No more fluff anymore. No more, oh, we're just going to kind of nurture you along the way. And maybe if you get it, that's great. You can do it in an easy way, which was really important. It was great to have that opportunity to have that, have our clearing come in those gentler ways. But the serious shit's happening now. And I mean, it's serious. So, it's not pretty anymore, and it's not fluffy and easy anymore. This is the time when, when we've said on another level, we're like, okay, people down there on boots on the ground, we're getting serious now. I know you've been asking for this, so we're gonna give it to you. And what this is saying for us right now is, get real. Get real with who you are. Who are you? What do you want from your life? Do you want to be free? Or do you want to keep chasing a system that hasn't ever been true? Now, I know I go to levels that are like, I don't even see any need anymore to play around with the whole 3D thing, other than to show it for what it is. So I know that this can be a pain in the ass for some people, but I really do think that it's important to get really clear. I think our whole world right now, everything about our world on many, many different levels, and I mean the dimensions and all of that, who we are in the higher sense of who we are, our greater being, our fullness of who we are in all the other dimensions that still exist. We are now asking to integrate these. And the only way to do that is to be a clear vessel. And the only way to be a clear vessel now is to release everything that isn't true. And everything that isn't true is anything that isn't love. And so that would be fear and anything that fear brings up, which is massive. I mean, you can talk for years on end about all the things that that fear provokes within a being and within our whole world. And you can look around and you can see that that is exactly what is coming up right now to show us that our fear is what creates all of this. And our fear is the commitment to what is not true. Now, it's not like we made that commitment, at least on this level, on purpose. But we did make that commitment from another level to do it on purpose, because there was much, much that got learned from that. There was incredible expansion and so many things that we gathered as beings, as multidimensional beings throughout this process. But it's time for this process to be at an end. It really is. This is it. No doubt in my mind. So, we're being asked to make a commitment here. Make a commitment to love. Make a commitment to the actual truth of who we are. The energy that exists and that we exist within. We created a three-dimensional reality that had what is not love so that we could play within it. But it's time to come out of that now. So all of these cycles of thought forms that come into our beingness on a daily basis and minute by minute basis sometimes, those old thoughts that come in and go, ooh, you should doubt that. I don't know. You shouldn't trust yourself because, other people, look, all those other people believe that, so it must be true. So, maybe you shouldn't really completely trust yourself on this. Well, the minute you do that, it's done. You've already released yourself from committing to the love and allowed yourself to committing to what isn't. And because of that, that's what you create. It is that simple. You can see even in your life, you can see the times when you were filled with so much joy and you're like, yeah, I can do that. And you do. And it works out beautifully. And then other times where you're like, well, I could do it then and I can do it now. I could do it now, but oh God, things are so rough right now. Okay, so I really want this to happen. So you think to yourself, all right, so this is true. But all these other doubts linger in, and you can feel them in your body. And those are the doubts that have to be cleared before you can be in complete commitment to what it is that is really true. And only from what it is that is really true can you create on purpose. And that is our next best step. And it will happen, and it is happening for many people right now. But in the meantime, what is happening is we're clearing out everything that is hampering us from that process. And that's a brilliant thing. It really is. It's a brilliant thing. So if you decide to look at it from that angle and say, "Ooh, yeah, I can feel those thought forms that come up, and I can feel them in my body," and it's just like instead of saying, "Oh, damn, I don't know what to do anymore. Damn, I wish I were this and wish I were that, and why does this always happen to me? And God, why is it that scenario just keeps happening? I can't do this. I don't know how." Well, what you've just done is you just dove right back into the old pond. And it's murky and dirty, stinky. It's gross. And it's not a place to play anymore. You've got a clear, cool, beautifully bright, brilliant ocean to play in if you realize that it's your commitment, full commitment to it, that gets you there. So, when you have these thoughts, instead of moving into them like I just mentioned, instead of doing that, recognize them, say, there you are again. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I already know you're not true. Thank you so much for offering me the opportunity. I so appreciate everything that you've done. I know I called you in. I know you've served me well, and I honor you and I thank you. But come on board here, because I got a different direction, and you're welcome to join me in this energy, the commitment to the love that I am, and give it no more thought. Literally, just take your thought away from it, go towards what feels good, replace it with what feels good. Don't give in to your doubts. Those are literally merely habitual thought forms that will only stay true as long as you feed them. If you release them into the fullness of yourself, then they become an ally. If you starve them, they will eventually dwindle away into nothing. That's just how energy works. And the more you feed your own joy, the more you feed your own brilliance, your amazing being that you are, and know that what it is you want, knowing that that's in the best interest of all, because it's love. It can't not be helpful to all beings. And be gentle on yourself when something comes in and you allow it, and instead of beating yourself up like so many want to and have been trained to do, you just go, "Oh, okay, all right, did that again." So there it is, and just say, we'll catch it next time, if we do. And just release it, don't judge yourself about it. Don't make it you. It's a nefarious thought form that just wants to stay alive. It's ego, it wants to stay alive, so it's going to come at you from every angle until you love it and say, "Thank you, come on board for the fun." It's gonna keep coming at you and saying, "I exist, I exist. You created me. I want to be true too." And so make it love so it becomes true, because so far it hasn't been. And that's a painful place for that thought form to be, and that thought form actually does have its own life until you change the energies. Because nothing ever dies, nothing ever is lost, it just changes energy, and you can do the same exact thing with these two things. So, right now it's time to be your truth. You're really going to be challenged to the core with this. It's not like you're even going to be given a choice, because on another level you created this to happen for yourself. The only possibility is to decide which way you're going to go with it. And let me tell you, if you don't release it into the fullness and the love that you are, it's going to cause a lot of pain until you do. Um, because we all know what isn't true. That fear and everything that is created through that fear is a very painful uh, teacher for all of us. But that's what it is. It's a teacher. It's not some bad guy, or bad entity. Um, it's just all a teacher, because everything that exists in our outside world, in this hologram that we created, is literally, as I've said before, it's it's a metaphor for who we are. Um, so, you know, this is a balancing time too. This is a time to balance those energies. It's like what's going on is it's kind of we're in the center. We want to bring everything through our heart now, so we have to bring down through the top um, the 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 energies of our spirits. Who we are on a larger level. We also want to bring up through the earth the ah the tangible life that we're living here on this earth, and have them meet at that center chakra, at the heart, um, and have everything kind of come through there as you move through your day. Allow yourself to take a moment before you react to something. Because it's going to be playing out around you, especially if you've got a lot of this going on inside of yourself, it will be showing itself around you. And so, give yourself a moment before reacting to anything, to bring all of that energy from your higher self, and from the earth energies, that beautiful mother spirit, and how you want things to be on this earth. Bring it into the heart chakra. Let it come together, and then allow yourself to decide. But make sure that you're paying attention to acting on what is true and realizing what isn't, and being gentle with yourself in the meantime. Don't bash yourself. um, you've got to be really, really um, on purpose now with being gentle to your inner child. Um, before you start talking to yourself, go into that place of knowing that child that has kind of been held back by all of these false structures that we've put up, can now come out, and you wouldn't chastise that child, not from a place of love, not from a place of knowing yourself, maybe from a place of not knowing yourself, knowing the love that you are. You might, but your own inner child is the one that needs to um, to be nurtured and to be released from feeling guilty, um, from feeling wrong, um, and just cared for. Um, let's see what else I've got here. I think I pretty much, yeah. So I would say, we're being outed right now for sure. Everything is being outed. Watch around you, look around you. Don't buy into all of the stories. All of that stuff is a metaphor, again, for the releasing. So if you can look at it as the releasing and not throw yourself into the fight, or the need to fix it, even, or judge it or anything. If you can just look at it and be grateful that it is literally pulling up all that that has been stored in this beautiful planet Earth. All those energies from all of these eons are now coming up to be released. And if we can look at it in that way and send the earth and all its beings love, that light, the truth, commit yourself to the truth, that would be the most powerful possible thing that any of us could do. And I think we owe it. to ourselves, and we owe it to this stunningly beautiful planet, the entity that holds the space for this planet, um, and and for our collective self, um, around us, and in the fullness of who we are. We owe it to ourselves, to get real, um, and to be gentle on ourselves when we don't quite hit the mark. Just be as loving and kind to yourself as you possibly can. And when you do that, it will outpicture all around you. Release your need to be perfect or to know it all. God, have I played that game? And I see it play out, a lot right now too. It's like, oh, no, I already know that. I already got that. Yeah, of course, sure, of course, I got that. Well, what a lot of times is happening now is that because you want to already be fixed and already know it and not have to go through anymore, you say, oh yeah, I got that. Well, what's happening is you're shutting yourself off to the possibility of being able to learn more and to open up. And by doing that, you literally create more negativity within yourself. You can feel how negative it feels when you shut yourself down to the possibility of learning and knowing more. And I know that that's a really big trap for a lot of people. And you know what? So what? So what that we do that? Just the important thing right now is to be truthful with yourself. And if there's a possibility that you don't have it all, that you get it on an intellectual level, but you're not living it, then instead of encasing it in a, I already got this, you can open that case up and say, okay, well, I'm just going to breathe, and I'm just going to let my higher self fill me up in that space and give me the truth. And it could come from all different kinds of ways. It could come from this video. It could come from a conversation you have with somebody. It could come from somebody else's video. It could come from a Facebook post. But it will come. It won't if you stay encased. It can't show itself as long as you're judging yourself for already having it be all done. Already got that. That's a big one. I know it is for me, or has been for me. And I have released a lot of that along the way. But, but I don't judge myself either. I just don't. I'm not going to. It just makes no good sense for me to punish myself for doing the best I could with what I knew. And that's the same case with every single being out there. You're only doing the best you can with what you've got. But know that if you open yourself up and you allow yourself to not know everything, maybe anything, and just let your higher self just roll inside of you, surrender to the fullness of who you truly are. Let this ego body just release itself. Let it go the way of the paradigm that no longer is serving us anymore. Let that go back, and it's kind of like it's like a snake shedding its skin. Just let that stay there and allow yourself to continue to evolve by surrendering to God, the God that you are in your fullness. You already are that. You already are there. You just don't believe it yet, so it's not showing up yet. But the more you commit yourself to love, the more fully you'll be there in each moment. So I think that's really my message to you, to me, to all of us, to this earth, for this new moon energy. This is also, in many ways, our calendars have really been screwed up for a really long time. This is kind of like the first, the Lionsgate used to be the beginning of a new year, and this new moon is really the first full new moon in this time. So this is kind of the first month, the beginning of the first month and the beginning of a new year. This is powerful. Decide what you want, commit to what you want, commit to not paying any more energy into what you don't want anymore, lovingly so, honoringly so. Be, be the love that you are. Oh, gosh. I can feel it. We're doing it. Wow, I'm getting blasted right now. Ooh, beautiful. Be the love that you are. Because I do love you. Because you are me. And I am you. And we are one. And we are free. And I left something out. I love it. Oh. Let's do this, all right? Commitment. Love.